His Excellency Alhaji Farouk Lawal Jobe. Honorable Commissioners and members of Katsina State Executive Council here present, the head of Katsina State Civil Service, who doubled as the chairman of the local organizing committee, Alhaji Falalu Bawale, thank you so much for your work. Our lead presenter on the theme of this first biannual session for year 2025, erudite Professor Ode Ojowu, who we have been clapping for since morning. Directors and senior management staff of National Board of Statistics are able and capable directors here present. At Katsina State Station General, Professor Sani, all state station generals across the federation that are here present, representatives of all federal ministries, departments, and agencies of government that are here present, especially those MDAs that are involved in the integrated system of administrative statistics, zonal controllers of MBS, directors of Federal School of Statistics, members of the Katsina State Board of Statistics and MBS State Office, gentlemen of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to be here today and to address you at this first meeting of our biannual gathering of this extraordinary body of the statistical system in Nigeria. I'm indeed delighted to see this huge gathering of members and stakeholders of the statistical system from all over the country. And I want to welcome all of you to Katsina State for what I believe will be a very interesting, and we have started seeing it, and very productive 2 days of in-depth discussions and deliberations. I wish to start my address by sincerely thanking the government and good people of Katsina State. First, for their acceptance to host this event, and for the amazing welcome and reception we have received so far since our arrival in the state yesterday morning. The evening of yesterday, we paid a courtesy visit to His Excellency the Deputy Governor. He hosted us very well, only to hear that in the night, we are also going to be hosted to dinner by the State Session General. All these are to attest to the warm welcome and reception we have been receiving. Thank you so much. All through the planning and preparation for this event, my team has received full cooperation and support from the government of Katsina State through the State Session General, Dr. Professor Sani. And for this, MBS and the entire national statistical system are truly grateful and appreciative of your kind gesture. Let me also take this opportunity to specially thank and sincerely commend His Excellency for his support to statistical development in Katsina State. You have shown great interest in statistics, not only in the production of it, but in its application in designing the policies and programs of your government, as well as in the development of the system that generates those data that you are using. In fact, I'm tempted to say that Katsina State Bureau of Statistics is among the frontline State Bureau of Statistics now, considering their budget allocation and series of statistical activities and programs that the state really has embarked on. Of course, for those of us in MBS who know His Excellency the Executive Governor from his days at the helm of affairs at the Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency of Nigeria, SMEDA, this comes as no surprise to us. He has consistently been an ardent advocate and user of data. This was exemplified by his consistent and constant leadership in the production of the micro, small, and medium enterprises survey in Nigeria. His leadership and commitment resulted in the production of 3 rounds of the survey, which up to today have provided sound evidence on the characteristics and operations of micro, small, and medium-scale enterprises in Nigeria. This is highly commendable. I told Your Excellency yesterday that the template that he left behind is what is still being used to produce the MSME survey in Nigeria. Your Excellency, we acknowledge and appreciate your achievement in this area. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as we all know, this is the first of our biannual meeting of the year. Ideally, this meeting should have been held much earlier in the year to enable us to coordinate our activities better and to synergize our effort and plan for data production for the year. Despite this delay, I want to urge all of us to take advantage of this platform that we are having at this meeting to share experiences and ideas in order to make progress on our work in the remaining part of the year. While we will be finding ample time to explore the hospitality, as it's been said, the state of heritage and hospitality, while we will be finding time to explore the hospitality and the sight and sound of Katsina, we must dedicate enough time to make progress on the work, particularly on the ongoing state gross domestic product exercise, as well as the integrated system of administrative statistics. Hence, the selection of the team for this session, which is promoting development at the subnational level through improved state GDP compilation. One of the constant data requests coming from users and stakeholders in the past few years, we had the representative of Nigerian Governors Forum that for the past 10 years they have been requesting for state GDP, including from state bureau of services and state government, has been the state GDP. Users and interest groups want to know the size and potential of state for various reasons, mainly for developmental and investment purposes. So it was only right that as the coordinator of the Nigerian statistical system, NBS took the initiative to work with the state to actualize this vision of having state GDP numbers for all the 36 states and FCT through our coordinated effort. Some people say, why are we not having bottom-up GDP compilation from the state? I always remember the experience related by the Statistician General of India in one of our international meetings. When they started compiling state GDP in India, he said the first attempt, because they used bottom-up, all the states produce their own GDP and they accumulate at national. And at the end of the compilation and the accumulation, the GDP combined is far higher than the national GDP that they have been producing. In order to avoid that, there is need for us to coordinate it from the center and then support the state to produce so that we can harmonize at the center. This decision was also on the back of the rebasing of the national GDP. We are about to release the rebasing of the GDP for the country. The next question will be, what is the contribution of my own state to this new GDP, which is nearly completed and awaiting release. Under the rebasing, a significant amount of data was collected, a lot of which will also go into the state GDP computation, along with the data being collected in the state, both through the assessment surveys as well as administrative data. While significant progress has been made under the state GDP process, there is still some way to go, and we need to ensure that we make necessary efforts both in this meeting and after this meeting to finalize this exercise. We have been hearing from the state the need to support them in the analysis and dissemination of the results, and MBS is always ready to do that. One of the important things we want to achieve in this meeting is to map out strategies to to ensure that states sufficiently take ownership of this exercise and the output. And that's what Prof has been preaching since morning. The purpose of data production is for its usage and application. There's no point in producing the state GDP if the state government is not going to use it. In case where state authority do not see this effort as their own, it will be significantly limit the chances of its usage. So it is important that we own it, we take ownership, and we use it for budget purposes, for resource allocation, and welfare of the citizens. This is why we have made every effort to make it mandatory for the State Statistics Bureau of Statistics to be involved and to take ownership of the entire process. In this meeting, we are interested in knowing the status of the work in your state, the level of your participation, and what you can do collectively to ensure that when the numbers are out, we have acceptance across the board. Your Excellency, we have another project of what we call Integrated System of Administrative Statistics. As you know, MBS has invested heavily in a system that is meant to enhance the system of collecting, analyzing, and reporting data generated administratively. This source has either been grossly underutilized and inefficient, yet holds significant insight and value for our development. The aim of ISA's project, therefore, is to develop a system that allows for seamless flow of data using technology. It will not only collect data, but we also analyze and report the data in several ways and in different formats, either through downloadable tables that you can use for further analysis or visual display of the data. Just last week, Your Excellency, the pilot phase of the ISAS project was launched with 15 MDAs. However, given the robustness of the system, the number of MDAs and states plugged in and connected is limitless. We are going to expand to other MDAs and we are going to expand to state bureau services as well, so that we can exchange data in a seamless manner. In this meeting as well, we want to expand these 15 MDAs. We need more MDAs to plug in. So if your MDA is interested, please, before we leave the meeting, please signify so that we can bring you on board. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, another very important exercise that we want to talk briefly about is the multiple indicator cluster survey. Nigeria is at the forefront of ensuring that availability of robust evidence data to inform development planning is made available. To this end, the MBS will be implementing the 7th round of the multiple indicator cluster survey this year. The multiple indicator cluster survey that we popularly call MIX has been one of Nigeria's key planning tools since 1995 and is one of the gold standard of household surveys globally recognized for producing robust national and state level representative results that meet international reporting standards. With Nigeria's status as the only African country which does voluntary national reporting on the status of the SDGs, and with 2030 fast approaching, MIX 7, the results from that survey will be very timely to support reporting and monitoring of progress of SDG or an indicator of SDG in Nigeria. As a signatory to the Convention of the Right of the Child, over the years, Nigeria has faithfully implemented MIX, a child-centric survey, to facilitate the multidimensional approach required to understand the overlapping deprivation affecting the children. We have been told that the state government is now embarking on human capital development, having done so much in the area of infrastructure and amenities. This MIX result will be very useful in developing and managing that human capital development. The MIX provides data to support development of integrated policies across areas of responsibility, including health sector, nutrition sector, education sector, and human development. Water and sanitation, poverty and social protection are not left behind. This round of MIX fully owned by the government of Nigeria and implemented by MBS, is being supported with the technical assistance from UNICEF, Nigeria Country Office, Global Mix Office of Mix as well, and the financial support is being provided by UNICEF, European Union, Canada's Global Initiative for Vaccine Equity, and Gavi, as well as National Primary Healthcare Development Agency. Apart from all these projects that I've mentioned above, Your Excellency, there is an omnibus project coming up very soon from federal government through the Honorable Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, which will allow us to get multi-dimensional data on all facets of our development, right from the grassroots, from the world level. The project is centered around world-based data-driven development initiative. In successfully implementing the above project, we as a statistical system will be fulfilling our mandate of making evidence available to policymakers and other users of their needs. More importantly, the successful completion of this critical project will go a long way in setting us on the path to achieving our vision of modernization of statistical system in Nigeria. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as we move ahead with the activities of the year 2025, I want to reach out to each one of us to redouble our efforts and work efficiently and effectively towards achieving the mandate set out for us. The Honorable, His Excellency, the Deputy Governor, was charging the States as a general yesterday that they are giving so much and they are expecting so much from him and his team. This is what we are saying here. We are here to work together to share ideas on how we are going to serve you better in giving you the required data that you need for development. Given the way and manner in which the technology is proliferating into our activity and is changing the data ecosystem all over the world, expanding frontiers and boundaries of possibilities with data. When we talk of big data, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and all that, we cannot remain aloof and make excuses. We must find ways to get by and take advantage of any available opportunity to keep our relevance and meet our responsibilities. As your national coordinator, I understand your challenges and pains. We have been receiving series of challenges from state board services, Your Excellency, since morning, and we are collating them. We are going to support them to solve those challenges. I urge you to do the needful within your own capacity. MBS will also continue to support you in any way that is possible for us. Once again, let me thank all of you for making the journey up to Katsina State for this meeting and for your anticipated contribution to what I hope will be a very good and productive outing. For our host, the government of Katsina State, we are all very glad to be here, and we thank you for your hospitality and warm reception. We look forward for a remarkable and memorable time in Katsina State. Thank you very much, Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I wish all of us to continue very productive deliberation this afternoon. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. God bless you. Thank you.
Please, can we appreciate those gentlemen once again? Thank you very much. Your Excellency.